Welcome to CashFlow Hacks Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, and with me today is my co-host, Stephanie.
Hello! I'm so excited to be here with everyone else who is ready to make more, save more, and live more now.
Great. You're in the right place. Every week, Stephanie and I will be sharing strategies your financial advisor doesn't want you to know. Why is that? Because the less you know, the more they make. And we want to help you flip that script.
Exactly. We're going to have different topics that we're going to help you flip that script, like Chris said. This week, our topic is going to be making money moves like the bank. See, the trick to building wealth is to do what the financial institutions do, not necessarily what they tell investors to do. So, Chris, what lessons can we learn from the banks that we can take and then apply to our own finances?
Well, there are actually quite a few things that the banks do, but today we're just going to talk about two of them. And those will be their utilization of using life insurance and how they are one of the largest lenders. Did you know that according to the FDIC, banks are the largest purchasers of cash value life insurance in the United States? They actually invest millions in the high cash value life insurance. And surprisingly for many banks, life insurance is actually their largest asset class.
Really? I didn't know that.
Not only is it a tax shelter for the banks, it actually offers tax-free source of funds. So life insurance offers benefits that are not usually available through their own products and institutions. And also bank products have low rates and they're taxable, while life insurance actually offers guaranteed growth, tax advantages, and an opportunity to shore up the balance sheets with an asset so reliable that it can actually be used as collateral. And I keep saying actually a lot, don't I? There's actually many ways that you too can use cash value life insurance to put yourself in a stronger financial position and to be able to build lasting generational wealth. You should find out how life insurance can bring you stability, protection, and growth during both good and unpredictable times by following this podcast. And we'll discuss in more detail, just how this works and how this can work for you.
Great points. And yes, we're going to go into more detail in another podcast because that is a huge topic all just by itself. But for now, I'm curious, can you touch more on what you mean by banks being one of the biggest lenders?
Well, think about it. That's how they make most of their money, right? They take our deposits and they lend them back to us or other customers in the form of a credit card, mortgages, car loans. And they even lend it to our neighbors, right? And how much do you get paid for lending them your money?
Nothing. My savings account gives me like 0.01%. Well, it's awful.
Right. And they charge you what for keeping your money there?
Well, when they lend it out to me, like I have a credit card through Chase and like I have got like 29.99 and mortgages are high as like 7.5. But I think it really depends on your credit. Like you can get really high rates if you have bad credit, right?
Right. But if you look at the spread, say they get 29.99% and they're only paying you 0.01%, that is what you call a beautiful profit, right? I want you to know that you can actually do the same thing. You can be a lender and you can make double-digit returns if you just know who to lend your money to. The banks don't loan out money without doing their due diligence. They're lending out their money to the right people, right? Or if you have bad credit, they'll lend it to you, but they're going to charge you a lot of money to have it. And so it's not only what you know, but who you know. You have to know the right trustworthy people to lend your money out to. But being a lender is definitely a way to make a nice return on your money.
Right. And you've done that for your client. That's what I'm so excited about. You have been able to get people with good credit and still get high rates of return, right? Can you tell us a little bit about the credibility of your investments?
We've developed some strong partnerships with some credible borrowers, and we've been lending to them for several years now and always been able to get guaranteed contractual returns for our lender. And that's something that traditional advisors cannot do. When I was a traditional advisor, I was very disappointed that I couldn't bring these type of opportunities to my clients. It's what makes us different and it makes us stand out. And unlike the banks who charge us to just keep our money in the bank and they don't pay us anything for it, we don't charge our lenders fees. We get them paid a great return for the use of their money.
Wow, that's amazing. So these are a couple of the ways that CQ Consulting helps clients create that financial freedom in 3 to 7 years that I hear so much about, right? By helping them make money moves.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Chris. I have learned so much from you over these past months working together, and I'm so glad to be able to share everything that you've taught me with everyone else. You've answered all of my questions, but I'd like to know if we have answered all the questions from the listeners. Anybody listening in, we want to hear from you. What did you wish you knew more about? Did anything pique your interest as you were listening to Chris, if you want her to go into a little more detail? If you leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and ask questions in the review, we will answer them in our future podcasts. Or you can send our Facebook page a message and we will get your questions answered right here on this podcast. Well, that wraps us up for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to join our Facebook group, the CashFlow Hacks, as well as follow our Facebook page, CQ Consulting Services. I want to thank you for listening, and we will be back next week with our next week's topic. Chris, what's our next week's topic?
5 enemies of wealth.
Yeah, 5 enemies of wealth. That's going to be an exciting episode. I look forward to it.
Me too. Thanks for listening.